Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild and I have to take this thing back to space because I forgot there's basically nothing else here. There was one of the older ornithopter experiments. I removed that. Let's say it that way. It got pinked and then it collapsed in on itself. So this has been slightly modified, not too many things. I've done just some detailing work, as good as I usually do that. I've put some lights on. That's something I thought might be interesting to have. The logo sadly had to go. I was not able to do anything nice. The problem is that this figure is just too big to fit on the side, so I could just copy that and then put that on the side. This doesn't work, and everything else that I've put on there kind of looked like a chicken or something like that, and I removed that. So I've put on my small logo there. I might ask Sector if it's possible to have a 3x3 small version of that. That would be cool. Maybe don't know, maybe he's willing to do that. I've done some grill work. I've done some extra braces to kind of make it look a bit more stable. I can't get it airtight. That's sadly due to the windows I've used. I could use full windows here, so remove these corner windows, and then it might, or these slope windows, then it might be airtight. But do I really need that? Here is the thing. Do I want it to look a bit nice, or do I want to have it airtight? And I think here I'm going for it not being airtight. I'm okay with this. Let's say it that way. I've added some thrusters on some parts. I've added some mass blocks to change the center of mass of the whole thing, because the center of mass is somewhere here, and that makes it, when the ramp is not out and it is not locked, very back heavy. It's a bit weird. It must be due to some, maybe the wings or the thrusters in the back. It really tips back without really, I don't know, but the mass blocks didn't do a lot. I don't. Not that I pretend that I've ever understood that, but the center of mass calculations here is kind of weird, because if I add, I don't know, it's, I think every mass block, every small mass block is 2 tons or something like that, and it's just not enough. So I might just remove them, but I can't really tell. Is there a way to tell how heavy artificial mass, by the way, how heavy it gets? Let us see if there is something. Yeah, 2 tons. It adds 2 tons, and that doesn't help, and I have that amount. Okay, I've added a bit of not carpet. I wanted to have it kind of like these rubber mats or something like that on the bottom to have better grip. I've added some weapon racks, some computers here in the back, closed off the ceiling, and then we have the front with the seats and all that stuff. So I kind of like it for the, I don't know, 4th experiment. I think it's the 4th experiment with ornithopters. That's definitely the best one yet, I say. It doesn't have the functionality of really moving crates or something like that. We could give it that. I'm pretty sure that would be possible, that we could make the whole mechanism to move our cargo containers. We could put that underneath there and then it would work. But I don't know. It looks nice, I say. One thing that I kind of regret not having is that the ornithopter in the movies really has flappy wings, so we can't really have that because the wings would just flap like that. You can't have fast moving hinges there. We even tried that with a script and it doesn't work, but it has these braces underneath that kind of act as extra, basically the muscle. It's a weird thing. There's mechanical connections to the wings that kind of help it moving, and that would just have been the whole connection here looks a bit flimsy, but I'm okay with that. This is just to have these nice wings that spread out. I will leave Dune then, and we will continue to somewhere else. Leave the ornithopter in orbit. I hope that it shouldn't run out of hydrogen. So if we come back, we can just take it back down to the surface. That's, by the way, that was one of the things that I kind of wanted to have, it being able then to fly into orbit to carry people. That was kind of one of the things I definitely wanted to have. I'm playing, by the way, with around 60. It's 0.6 simulation speed. The whole game slows down more and more. This world is beyond repairing, I have the feeling. It just doesn't work anymore. Why are the magnetic plates locked? And how are they locked? Unlock. Okay. We should maybe spread the wings. I could speed that process up a bit. But I'm weirdly okay with it being... That should be the first procedure when starting. To kind of... put the wings out first. It still has a lot of years of power. That's a good thing, kind of. With the amount of reactors we have in here, it really doesn't take too much energy. It's good to have these flame front thrusters. They are just a bit OP, but we said that for Dune, OP is definitely okay. I could have put in the gravitic manipulators. They would have been, I think, even better. But they run on energy, so maybe it's a good trade-off here. Let me go to orbit, and I will come back to you once I'm there. So the ornithopter is parked up. I will do something to reduce the danger of this thing getting attacked by turning off the antenna. I kind of didn't think about this, that maybe having an antenna there is a bit dangerous. I know other ships have them too, but this thing is a bit more well defended than this thing. So I threw a dice, and the next thing that we do is go to the Earth Moon. I'm going to jump into close proximity to the Earth-like, and then go and go to the Moon, because I had at one point these communication arrays around in some asteroids, and I now want to build. So the reavers make it complicated to communicate with the rest of the world, because there's batteries, there's the antennas, kind of high antenna ranges make it difficult to be able to fly around with drones whatsoever. We have crazy cheaty solar panels that I want to use to power a communications array on the moon. We will try to build 2 on the opposite sides of the moon, connect them with the satellite, and then from there we build out communications to all the other stations around our world. So we might drop off communication satellites and then be able to have rudimentary communications around our world again. I hope that the laser antennas in this world work again. That will be an experiment that we also do, because again, the laser antennas for most of the time had problems working, and I kind of want to have them back, but it could be that they're just broken because of, don't know, the world being very, very old. So let us hope that that stuff is working now again, and we can use that. We will make a test close to Earth's moon with this ship. I chose moon because it is kind of the idea of not having an atmosphere that disturbs the laser signals. I know that this is in Space Engineers, it really doesn't care, but I chose the moon for that. We would build, for example, radio telescopes there, or if there's plans to have a telescope there to science more out of the stars, because there's no atmosphere and all that stuff. And it gives the moon, the Earth-like moon, a purpose, because it really doesn't have one. The next time I plan a world, I will go with maybe the idea of hiding stuff on different planets or something like that, that I have to go somewhere to find silver or something like that there. Earth-like. We should go maybe to the asteroid base and then jump from there again. Show on HUD. Okay. Hyperdrive. I really need to organize myself. There's people out there like K-Max that are so highly organized when it comes to naming ships and naming all that stuff. Oh, I could go to orbit over base, because then I don't have to jump too close to the asteroid base. That would slow down everything again. 9. We jump there. And then we have to see how far moon is away. I might just burn over there instead of oh, it is there. Instead of jumping, because the hyperdrives have one major flaw that is having a problem with I'm sorry for it being so loud. I see that the levels are kind of crazy. I might have to bring that down artificially because that's just too loud. Let me burn over to the moon. So now that you know the plan. After a week's worth of trouble with the laser antennas, I will give you a hopefully short summary of what is going on, why this project needs to be kind of halted. I need opinions on the whole thing. So, first thing, laser antennas and shields don't work with each other. The shields need to be completely off on a ship to be able to establish antenna connection. The next trouble is that if shielded ships were docked to something or shielded ships were around, then we already run into problems. The shields at the moment on the Excalibur are off, completely turned off, not brought down. No, they are completely turned off to make connections with the Excalibur possible, but also with the station here. Also, this ship, no shields at the moment. So I'm trying to establish the laser antenna network to deal to be able to communicate with the whole system, but to not attract reavers. So if the shields are preventing that, then I have the option to remove the shield mod. That could be interesting. More ideas how to build then ships. Yeah, to prevent ships from completely falling apart. But the thing is that reavers then are just the most destructive force because they just slam into you, and there is no help against that. So every station would just vanish into dust if a reaver just gets a whiff of it. So I could throw out shields and reavers, replace reavers with something less aggressive, drones, something coming in whatsoever. There's a lot of new NPC mods basically out there. That would be an idea to make struggle with laser antennas a lot less crazy. Give me an opinion on that. Remove reavers, remove shields, go to more traditional building methods basically, and then bring in something that maybe spawns drones or stuff like that. The whole NPC at the moment, I don't find them really interesting right now. So give me an opinion on that. Next struggle with laser antennas is laser antennas don't store coordinates. So I run into the problem that even laser antennas that were connected to something can't properly reconnect if there's not normal antennas providing a connection between them. Or stuff like that. Laser antennas, I know they need the coordinates and all that stuff, but the big problem that I have with them is they don't store them. So I have a laser test site there, I have the laser test satellite here basically. If I idle this laser antenna now, it will for now lose the connection and will not be able to reconnect to the same coordinates when I restart. It could be that it keeps the coordinates right now. This has the coordinates, I already put them in. But if I go now and just idle this, the antenna is basically gone. The laser antenna forgets the coordinate that could be here. Known receivers, it should know that receiver. It doesn't, so I have to put in the coordinates again to then reconnect it. That works, but it would be nicer if the laser antennas would keep the coordinates to stuff they were already connected to? Not sure. So that means that I would have to build up a huge catalog of coordinates to keep in check where is every static laser antenna that I can connect to. And I'm not sure if that's, don't know, that could be potentially hundreds of laser antennas. Potentially. If I set up satellites around each planet, I could maybe set that up and get around with a lot less coordinates stored up. So I'm not sure how to deal with that. For static grids, that is something that could be possible. Static grids around, don't know, I could go with a static grid around Earth, around Mars, around the thing is, I had stuff like that, and it got lost over time because it didn't work or there were problems, and I would like to get that back. So the static grids I could establish, it could be that I get around with 10, 15 coordinates for one ship. So if I use a main ship to connect and not connect all the ships to the main, to the main, how to say that, to the main comset in the area around the planet, stuff like that, and then have maybe the big ships as relays for smaller ships, stuff like that. That could work out, but that's something that we would have to do for one of the next episodes. It depends. If people are not interested in setting up laser antennas and all that stuff, and we need to keep reavers, we need to keep shields and all that stuff, then it doesn't really matter, and I could get around with a few just relays. I don't know. Then it is kind of not necessary to go too crazy. The whole communications main station on the moon, that plan kind of has to be thrown out because it's just not really feasible. It's frustrating. Good. Yeah, having, just as a side note, having dynamic grids with laser antennas, 2 dynamic grids with laser antennas, if they lose connection, it is over. You will not be able to reconnect again if you don't have already a connection to somewhere else. So the long range laser antenna idea that could screw up if you lose the connections at one point, and that's something, I don't know. Is it worth building up a communications network, removing the reavers for that, removing the shields for that, to just build up a project that then, because the reavers are gone, is not really needed anymore? I want to have an opinion on that, so let me know. I will push out this episode. This is a bit of a thing, and I will call it, don't know, a half episode or whatsoever. I don't know. Let me know again what your opinion is on this. I'm frustrated again. I'm dealt with this now over a few days to set up the stations, test out what is the problem, where is the problem, reload the game, reload the save, do this, do that, and again, it's The laser antennas are more troublesome than maybe it's worth. If you say I should continue this, then I will remove the reverse, remove the shields, find something interesting that can replace the reverse and is not, maybe not as destructive, and then we have to concentrate on building all the stuff that we built with maybe that in mind, and then we will build up a communications network that's hopefully worth it. I have an idea for maybe having a ship that I can dock up to the big ships, so something that is shared, and then have that thing as basically a relay that has laser antennas that have the coordinates stored or that are permanently connected to the fixed stations that I will build up in the system, so that this thing always has a connection to or a possible connection to everything, and then maybe keep that around as a way to kind of throw out a relay, pump up the antenna so that everything can then talk to everything else, and I don't need to keep a crazy catalog of GPS coordinates for each laser antenna that is somewhere static in the system, because storing that up for moving grids is impossible anyways. So that's always the easiest thing. Dynamic grids best connect to static grids, so that the dynamic grid can say, okay, here is the coordinate I want to connect to this laser antenna, and then that works. Having two dynamic grids connect to each other, that's for a short while possible, but as soon as the connection gets lost, you're screwed. So people, let me know how you see that. Is that worth working on? I'm not sure. You let me know. People, thanks for watching. I say hope you liked this episode. If you did, leave a comment and all that stuff. Good. People, thanks for watching. See ya later.